Reddit Ask Me Anything. I suffered a mild stroke while fapping and had to call 911. First responders and several family members saw my setup, and I'm still struggling with how to deal with the embarrassment of it all. Ask me anything. Over a month ago, I had a transient ischemic attack and have basically made a full recovery, but I literally thought I was going to die. I had settled in for an extended session of self-love, complete with several toys and hentai air playing to the TV. About 20 minutes in, my entire left side, I'm left-handed, went numb and I lost strength in my both arms. I felt I could not lift them above my shoulders, and nothing made sense. The girl in the video had been talking dirty, but now sounded like garbled nonsense. I tried to talk, like to say "what the flip" out loud or something, and all that came out was At that point, I lost all sense of the situation and just dialed 911. Within what seemed like 3.5 seconds, first responders knocked at my door and I greeted them without any clothes on, hentai still playing, big peepees and more glistening on the towel on the floor. I was making no sense and was no doubt acting really out of it, so they took me to the emergency room when I was discharged a few hours later with the full clarity of what had happened. My dad was at the emergency room with me, and when he said, "let's get you home," all I was thinking is that I needed to get into the house first. My mother and sister's car were parked out front of my house when we pulled up, so this was clearly moot. I am just a bit mortified. The conversations and awkwardness in the past 5 weeks had been daily curse. Update. In the past 24 hours, my life got way more embarrassing, and then got way better. I seriously expected to get like 3 comments on this post. As in, first that's homo, 2 sucks to be you, and 3 stroke jokes. I was starting to get concerned yesterday afternoon when this thing really started to get upvotes and all my detailed answers were already in the comments. Perhaps I should have expected this, but a link to the post made it into my parents' email inbox via a friend of my younger sister, not the freaky one, who was like, "Hey, isn't this what happened to your brother?" I just assumed it was going to stay in the family, but why would I think that? Happy to elaborate if needed, but long story short, the parents got the link because my sister was concerned for me and thought this would help. I wanted to kill her initially. The parents read all the comments. "Hi mom." They didn't know Reddit existed and were really impressed with the quality of the discussion and were happy to get to hear my unfiltered perspective on all this. You guys were totally right. They made comments respecting my private life and were embarrassed for me, not judgmental of me. It was a long discussion, around 3 hours, that ended up with lots of joking, laughing and some crying. At one point my dad even asked, "So that feels good, huh?" And my sister maintains she did not take my butt plug. Age, gender, orientation, etc. Oh yeah, sorry. 32, male, straight. Live-in girlfriend of 6 years who was thankfully out of town on travel. She knows I had a stroke and went to the emergency room, but I think that's all. She is good friends with my youngest sister, not the one who was at my house, so she could know something, but we're pretty open. So I think she would have said something. I do intend to tell her, but it's just been a lot. What? Wait, listen to this question. Dude, my first question is why don't you have a hentai buddy? What is hentai buddy? A hentai buddy is someone who you trust that when you die or have a stroke, goes to your house and is responsible with deleting all of your hentai and clean up your toys or pull the pee-pee out of your butt so family doesn't see that. What? Oh my god. A noble position in society, I'm sure. Probably one of those stories you see on Reddit. I'm a paramedic, ask me anything. Anyways, that aside, glad you're okay. Better than them finding you unconscious or dead in your living room naked with all your toys laying around. We've seen worse. Once got called to an attempted suicide via bleeding out. I'm hauling butt because I'm thinking slit wrists. Nope, dude cut his pee-pee off. Ooh, that reminds me, we got a call for a hemorrhage last winter, no other information. Dude was banging his pull-out couch. Some wire or metal from this wrecked and ripped couch caught him. Left a nasty gash on his bald-headed yogurt slinger. Walking with our bags. Poor dude sitting next to his freshly loved, now with blood, bang hole. Stark naked as the day he was born. Power grasping his junk with a towel. That was an interesting narrative. Bald-headed yogurt slinger is now going to be worked into my conversations. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pissing myself and trying to tell a couple people in the emergency room next to me why I'm laughing. Reading that hurts me physically. Is that the same as a purple-headed womb ferret? Do you have any lasting effects from the stroke? I feel like my left hand is still somewhat numb, but that could be imaginary, and even if it isn't, I could happily live my life like this, otherwise no lasting impact. So just so I can relate, I'll tell you of the accident that showed my setup to the family, parents, grandparents and all accompanied family members. Let me set the scene. Family reunion, volleyball in the backyard with my hefty female cousin. She hit the ball over the fence into the neighbor's garden, and I was convinced by my uncle I should jump and retrieve it, as he figured out she could not. I jumped off the top of this fence and landed on a 1/2 inch piece of steel stock that they must have been using as a truss. Entered through a scrotum and came out 30 centimeters above my setup. I proceeded to pull myself off it in a fit of shock and jumped back over the fence. The fence ripped me of my dignity and my pants were torn from the body completely. There I am, bleeding from the groin, and my whole family, 20+ people, shocked, staring at my setup. I was rushed into the hospital. Turns out the steel stock pushed everything vital out of the way and only damaged tissue. Happened a few years ago. It gets better, OP. Just the occasional shish kebab joke now. Yeah, okay. This is an easy one. Own it. You are the only one that can make yourself feel any way about it. You have to choose shame, so don't. You said it best yourself. Self-love. It's that simple. No one can shame you but yourself. And there's nothing wrong with what you were doing. The end. To paraphrase the lovely Julia Child, never apologize. Do not twist yourself into the knots of excuses and explanations. Show yourself a little love and move on. And enjoy self-care Sundays with gusto. Good vibes. I feel like I have to buy all the new toys regardless. There's something just not calm-inducing about the following thought. Hey, this is the PP I was sleeping myself with on the day I had the stroke and I traumatized my family. Plus someone DM'd me and offered me to buy the PP for $100 postage paid. I crap you not. Probably you're dead. LMFAO. Do you know what caused it? A TIA is pretty much a stroke. It just goes away by itself. So I would say it was elevated blood pressure from fapping caused a blood clot to enter part of the brain. I am scared. I feel like you are going to be battle-hardened after this experience. Surviving that level of embarrassment will probably make you completely immune to any embarrassment ever again. Pretty badass. Also, glad you recovered. Turned out a lot better than it could have, sounds like. Did you have any symptoms leading to this stroke? Zero symptoms. No high blood pressure or anything. You're a kind guy. Own it. Might as well be out about whatever it is you're into. Have fun with it. Let them be embarrassed. Invite them to be as open-minded as you, and then thank them for saving your life and loving you. I realize this is an Ask Me Anything, so I'll add a couple of questions to my unsolicited advice. How many toys did you have out anyway? Have you considered writing a self-love how-to book? 2 butt plugs. One largest realistic looking black PP. Not sure why the color matters, but it probably does to someone involved here. Couple different lubes. Nipple pumps, they probably had no idea what those are. And an Aneras. This was all wrapped up in a towel and placed in my room by either my mother or my sister. The smaller of the 2 butt plugs is missing. I have several theories. It was in when I called 911 and they have a protocol of not returning such a thing. I did something with it in panic and I'll end up finding it in drawer the next time I move. Or 3, my freaky sis took it. I know that last one sounds crazy, but it's like a 1% chance idea and would not completely surprise me. Nipple pumps, they probably have no idea what those are, unless they were on Reddit on that fateful day. Yeah, I saw that. Was total BS with all the carpenter reference. If you really thought those things were for carpentry, you would not post on Reddit. So you're not tempted to ask around your family what happened to my favorite butt plug, then. Makes a good Thanksgiving dinner conversation. Plot twist, it's in the turkey. Putting the stuff in stuffing. I am seriously expecting that I get toys for Christmas this year. Bonus, except it'll be a prank. So it'll be a very absurd, like a massive bad dragon or something. Ah yeah, a prank, obviously. Good, yes. I don't feel like singing after this video. Video on the screen tells the pro-revenge story of the boss who bullied his employee and the employee who turned the government against the boss.